covered. They ain't cuffing my cloth, they tugging. Putting up numbers, 99 problems, and I still kept it 100. Hold up. Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Good to see everybody. Check, checkity, check. 1 2 1 2. All right, we should be up and running. And I'm in a live trade right now. It's the same one from before. It's Mogo, and it crashed, and that's fantastic. You know why? Because the market never goes down. So when stocks do come down, you just have to assume they're going to go back up. Even garbage like this. I just sold some at 275. A little disappointed. I thought we were on our way to touch the blue line up there. But I'm in from 250. And again, it's a really significant price in the world of trading, 250. And, I've been noticing a lot of stocks coming back from the dead, getting back above 250. And usually when you go under 250, you're on your way to 1 and then 0. So when you come back, and again, this market is just relentlessly killing shorts. It's just unbelievable. By the way, I want to use a visual here today. Not just one ball, not just 2 balls, 3 iron balls with spikes on them. So the next time you're thinking about going short, think of this coming right at your skull. I wear it around my neck just to remind myself not to go short. And even yesterday, when the market was actually pulling back for the first time in what seemed like 3 months, I wasn't shorting. So, yesterday when we pulled back, I just waited for this wonderful chart pattern that I keep talking about, the faux show bro. And you know what obviously happened today. We're along the queues right now. But yesterday, we actually had some selling, right? So let me show you. This is 2 days worth of data, right? So here's today, right? Here's yesterday. Let me get the red line. Red lines just are where I was putting trades on and stops. So yesterday was interesting because what we normally do, and you've heard the phrase, we use it a lot in the morning show, if you ain't fading, you ain't trading, right? The fade, what's the fade? The fade is basically, you have a gapped up stock and you assume there's going to be some profit taking on the gap. So just to put it in even simpler terms, you bought a stock at $10 yesterday and it has some news and it's opening up at $12 this morning. What are you going to do? You're probably going to sell some, take that 20%. So people will sell at the open. That's the fade. Now, nobody dumps their whole position at the open. I mean, some people do, but most people don't. You want to see how the stock breathes and then get into the ebb and flow. So the gap will fade. So the shorter can make money, and that's usually right at the open, 9:30. Sometimes it lasts 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Lately, the most you're getting is 7 minutes. And after 7 minutes, the seller gets out of the way. They work his order. It bases out. And then sometimes it'll drop a little bit more, and then it starts to rally. That's the fake out, shakeout, breakout. And that seems to be every morning. And that's been a trade that's been working for me since I started trading. I invented the phrase, faux show bro, fake out, shake out, breakout. Because stocks like to get you out of the name before the bigger move. The market makers are working the order. All that conspiracy talk about manipulation and rigging, it's real. But we appreciate the rigging and the manipulation and we embrace it. And that's how we trade. So knowing that this market is right now, it's basically rigged to only go up since, again, 87. First, if you guys know about the algorithm implementation in 87, that's the conspiracy theory about the crash of 87 was that they started experimenting with algorithms and it went haywire, crashed the market because there really wasn't any economic reason for the crash of 87. But I don't want to go give you a history lesson of the market. Fast forward to the flash crashes. What were they? They were algorithms being implemented that went haywire. Since we went into decimalization from fractions, the idea behind the fractions to decimals was that mom and pop can now buy Microsoft at 132.06 instead of having to pay $126 and an eighth. They were going to save 6 cents. Absolute bullshit. That's not why we went from fractions to decimals. We went from fractions to decimals because the math is easier. and the algorithms work better, and high frequency trading was born, and you can get into the 0.0001 arena, and that's where we have been growing since. So as algorithms have been taking over the market, what is the algorithmic language of the market? You guessed it. It's volume weighted average price, which has been around forever. It's just now through observing this phenomena since the 90s and the evolution of trading, watching fractions go to decimals, and then what I thought was just not random, what I thought was just your number at the end of the day, which kind of VWAP, the OG VWAP traders know what I'm talking about. You had a number at the end of the day. If you were an institutional trader or you worked, for instance, if you worked for Kenny Glick fund, and I said, I want 38,000 shares of XYZ on the books by the end of the day, whatever the VWAP was. So for instance, let's take random, let's take XYZ, because actually it's a stock now, which you can't use it as an example anymore because it does exist. XYZ. So I say, I want 100,000 shares of XYZ on the books by the end of the day. The trader that's in charge of that order, at the end of the day, his cost average has to beat the VWAP at 69.50 right now. And that's all I knew from the VWAP. And I was like, why would anybody care about the VWAP? What it has become now is almost like an institutional money line. So for instance, here later in the day, let's keep this example going about, this is the OG VWAP trade, right? So you see, here's your VWAP, here's your prior day VWAP, blue line, orange line, all you're going to see on my chart. When a stock is trending down and you have an order to do, right? You're the trader. You don't care what the long-term aspirations of the analyst who gave you the order. The company gave you an order. That's all you know. You have to work that order and get the best price available. You don't care why they want to own XYZ. Okay, establish that. So as it's going down, you're like, oh, great. I could just buy a little here, a little here. You got an order to do. So let's say you had 100,000 shares to buy for the day. You're buying 5,000 here, 7,000 here. You're like, wow, this is the greatest job. We'll just keep trending down. All right, I'm definitely beating the VWAP today. And then it starts to bounce. By the way, that's the fake out, shake out right there. Breaks a low, comes right back and tests it. Fake out, shake out, tests the break right there. And then a little faux show bro action right before the VWAP. So as you're accumulating the stock, right, you're keeping your cost average down. So now, later in the day, around 1:15, the stock's now breaking over the VWAP. The institutional trader, whether he be doing this manually or he set the orders, he set the order to buy if VWAP breaks, because he has to keep his cost average down. So now if it breaks later in the day, think of the institutional trader trying to beat the VWAP. What do they have to do now? They have to chase Mogo. Hang on. We got to sell some Mogo, right? You guys didn't sell it because it pulled back 10 cents, right? You're not freaking out, right? We're not selling this thing unless it breaks down under 257. Nobody's selling it, right? Let me just show you. Large size on the offer just got gobbled up. And I'll show you a couple of scanners. And by the way, I don't make this into a live trading show, but I am long the Qs right now and long the Mogo, and I'm not getting out. Obviously, the Qs, I'll go back to the story in a second, but I want to just put an order out here at 287 before it gets to 291. My ultimate goal here is to get to the blue line, because generally when you break out of the bottom range, you revert back to the VWAP. So we're getting back to the VWAP. If you break over the VWAP, just like I was explaining, you're probably going to get some more to the upside. That's why I'm liking this name, especially being in from the 250. 250, big magic number. And again, at 250, the low of the day was 232, establishing risk. Again, I made money on the stock this morning at the same price. So I felt compelled to try it again at 250. 250 last time I went to 4. Awesome. Got out, stopped. I sell on the way back down. I sell some on the way up. And then usually on the way back down, I get out of the rest. By the time it broke VWAP, it wasn't even in the name. There's a little faux show, bro. It didn't really work. We had a little bit there. Bought it here. Didn't break VWAP. Wound up selling it. Made $75 on that trade. So now when it went back to 250, I felt compelled. Again, what you're witnessing here, this is kind of what we call an Andy Dufresne. Just goes sideways, but not breaking down. It's just rummaging through the muck of the sewer pipe, going sideways. Comes out of the sewer pipe, it generally runs. Where does it run to? Say Wataneo was the island where my friend Andy was waiting for him. Our friend Andy is waiting for us at 291, hopefully, and we sell. But, you sell some here. If you're in from 250, I'm always looking to sell some at 275, quarter on a 250 stock. Doing all right. Got your 3,000 shares. You sell maybe 1,000 at 275. You lock into 250. Now, if we get stopped out at 260 on the rest, at least we made something on the trade. I'm looking for more. So I got my offer out at 291 for 500. And then I'm offering out where it broke down from, which is 313 for 500 more. And then I'm hoping it gets back to the top there where I'm offering out 500. I'm hoping for a pretty good move here. But if I'm wrong, I've already taken some profit. And if I'm wrong, I'm just going to dump the whole schmagegi. I probably won't even let it go back below this double bottom area. If we sell some here at 291 momentarily, I'm going to raise my stop. That's how you preserve capital. Sell, raise stop, can't lose. 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 It's the same day every day. We do the same trades every day. The names change, but the trade always remains the same. That's why we're pretty damn consistent in making money now. All right, 290, wait for it. I want 291. Wait for the extra penny. Hold on. 291, come on. You could sell it at 290 if you want. And if we don't get 291, I'll be embarrassed here a little bit, but come on. I didn't say 290. I said 291, damn it. 291. Give me my 1 cent. I want my $2. And look, if it hits the VWAP and they rug pull it, I'll be mildly disappointed, but I'm not going to get out unless now I raise the stop to 266. Now I can lock it in. All right, so let's wait for the 291. So let's go back to the story why VWAP works so well. The institutional trader, right? They're accumulating blocks of the stock, and they need to beat the VWAP, right? So remember yesterday's example on the XYZ? The trader is sold to you, 291. Thank you. My name is Kenny Glick. This is all I do. I bang out winners every day since 1997. I know. It's hard to believe I'm this good. I know, guy. I know. I am this good. Maybe the best that's ever been. I know. It's okay. Sit down. It's okay. All right. So now that we sold some at 291, now that 266, hard stop. Hard. What does that mean? Hard stop. That means I'm selling the rest of what I got. Because I'm in at 250. I just sold 275, 291, and I'm willing to dump the rest of my shares at 266 if I have to. But now that we're above the VWAP, I'm thinking we're going higher. So I got my offers out already. I know where the stock wants to go. It wants to go revisit his old friend right there, which is around 312. Hopefully we get there. And if 312 says, hey, we like this 312, maybe we get that spike high right there. That's 337 right there. And if not, like I said, if this thing rolls over and starts plummeting, 266, skedaddle. And that's how you become a profitable trader. Take some money, raise your stop. Now you can't lose. All right, so let's go back to the example because I really want you guys to fully really appreciate that. Thank you very much for that comment. Ooh, what did I? Oh, did you just buy me a present? Somebody just buy me the 2015 high relief gold coin? I appreciate that. It's a $3,700 coin. I think I just won it on eBay. By the way, I'm a big fan of silver and gold. I've been buying silver, and I've been buying more silver because I'm not that rich. But I've been buying silver with kind of reckless abandon over the last 10 years. I buy coins and, where's all that stuff? Oh, yeah, I buy like sheets of ounce silver. I love me some silver. I buy the poured stuff. I love me some silver, ounce little bars like this. I love me some coins. I got all kinds of bull and bear coins. Awesome. And so far, as I battle with my wife every time she sees a $3,000 credit card bill for Amp X or some silver company, she's like, "You spent $3,000 on silver?" I'm like, Yeah, but my 3 grand will be worth 4 grand probably. The 3 grand you spent on that bag is already worthless. Oh, I could sell my bag. Sure you can. Let me see you sell one bag. Sell one bag. Anybody need a bag? Because I'm going to be selling these bags soon from underneath her. Anyway, all right. You guys are in Mogo with me. Congratulations. We're about to get sold out of some at 310, hopefully. All right, here we go. All right, so let's go back to the story because I do tend to ramble on. XYZ, right? You guys appreciating VWAP? Let me explain one more time why it's so awesome. So the institutional trader who needs to beat the VWAP price, what are they going to do? Here you go, $3. There you go, $3. Now, normally I would sell some here at 3, but I'm going to be a little greedy. Normally I sell whole numbers. Half number got me the whole, 250 got me 3. Normally I'm cashing out right here. I'm going to hold on and see if we get the extra 12 cents out of it. If not, like I said, I am not getting out any. I'm willing to sacrifice the rest of my trades, what I'm trying to tell you. And that sacrifice at 260, yeah, you know what? Screw that. You know what? I just realized it just broke $3. Let's raise the stop to 275 now. Why let it go back to 266? Actually, put it at 277. 277 stop on whatever you got left. And now I don't got to watch it. All right, cool. All right, now let me get done with the story. So the institutional buyer or any buyer, you know, again, you're working for a small fund, big fund, large fund, doesn't matter. The VWAP is what matters because they're trying to beat it. So they got to keep their average price below the VWAP. So what are they going to do when it breaks later in the day? They're going to have to chase. So when you see a stock that's breaking down and looks weak and it's just awful, that's the setup, the fake out, shakeout. Then you break the VWAP. So even the institutional trader is thinking, oh, great, it's breaking the low of the day. I'm just going to buy some here. And, oh, wait, now it's bouncing. He just has to chase. And now it's breaking over the VWAP. And you ask yourself what that orange line is, I'll tell you. That's prior day VWAP. So when you get over the 1 minute and what we call the multi-day, 9 times out of 10, you're going that direction. And if you could sit around like we do every day, pretty much for 8 hours a day now because the market is riveting. I've never thought I'd be this excited about being a trader ever again. This is it. You heard stories of 1999. You've heard stories about the glory days of day trading. These are the glory days. I never thought I would experience it ever again. What I saw during COVID was a rebirth of day trading and has carried forward, and it has only grown since COVID. And it's never going back into the genie bottle. We're gone. Everybody wants to be a trader again. You got gambling, you got the gambling crazy people, you got the Reddit mafias, you got your monkeys, your apes. Everybody wants it. It's the greatest game, and the game is rigged, and the game is manipulated. And when you use VWAP, you see the rigging and the manipulation, and it's wonderful. And it's easy to understand when you put it in perspective as the they. We always blame them for they're holding the stock back. They're doing this. They are, and they're out there, and they also use VWAP. So let's talk about the cues for a second, right? So yesterday, if you thought the market was telling you something, oh man, yeah, blow off top. Ooh, right? You had a lot of reasons to want to be a shorter yesterday for the first time in a very long time. So as I was talking about the fade, right? The fade, you'll get the stocks are gapped up. People like to sell near the open, right? You get some fading. The fade was quickly bought because the market doesn't go down. But in this case, you see the orange line up here? Prior day VWAP, in this case, because the market had gone sideways for 2 days, prior day VWAP was above the today's VWAP. Well, this is yesterday. So I'll just pretend this is yesterday. Prior day VWAP is above today's VWAP. And in this case, it acted as resistance. And then it rolled over and broke that pivot, in that moment right there, you could finally say to yourself, wow, I could go short with limited risk without having to worry about my head being bashed in. Because the VWAP's giving you permission to short. Prior day VWAP's telling you that there's real sellers up there because you couldn't get over it, right? So, and here's what's wonderful about this trade also. Let's say it didn't roll over and go down and it would have rallied back up. It's very limited risk because you're shorting you're not shorting the VWAP break, you're shorting the VWAP confirmation that there are sellers, and then the 930, or basically what we call the 930 range, 930 to 945. So both the 945 low, test it from underneath, confirming the sellers, and yeah, you got paid. Congratulations. Wow. How long did it last? How long did it last? You got a whopping what? How long did it last realistically? Okay. You got short at 1026. And when did it last? When did it last? Roughly 50 minutes. Where'd all the sellers go? Were they there in the first place? The illusion has become real. The market doesn't go down. You'll have a momentary fart in the wind sell-off. You realize the Qs have just gone from 398 pre-market on August 7th. Go check it if you're looking at the chart now where it says 400. No, it was below 400 in the pre-market. 398.50 to 398.50 on August 7th to where we are today. The fastest recovery from bear market lasted for 12 hours in this case. Right, officially after 20% fall, that was the bear market. Within a couple of days, it was over. And then we started rallying, Trump candle, consolidation, power gap. We went over this last week. So even when the market was a sell, you had a real reason to short it. I'm still playing faux show bros. And here it is. You ripped down, you ripped up, and then that moment where we never broke the lows on this move up here and this move down here, right there, where it tried to break down again, fake out, shake out, and look at that nasty up move. Woof. That's me and my crew right there. Buying, knowing we're probably done going down because faux show, and then you held, there's the faux show, and then you held the show part. Now you could identify your trade. How about that Mogo? How about that Mogo? Oh, you thought you were going to sell. Oh, right. Oh, you were going to sell it? Oh, Kenny, it's pulling back. Is it? Did it break 275? Did it break 275? The answer is no. You should still be in the name. That's how disciplined traders work. If it breaks the price that you've established as something significant, then you sell it. That's it. Did it break 275? The answer is no. You should still be in the name, selling it now. 310 out. I know, guy in the back. It's okay. You don't have to stand every time I make you money. I appreciate that. And if you have another child, you can name him Kenny because nobody's named Kenny anymore. But how did I know it was going to go to $3.10? Because I'm awesome. Because I just know the market's rigged. That's how I knew it was going to go to 310. It's rigged. You see? I drew the line before the stock went there. You see, this is called live trading. This is why we do it live. Because if I was to describe this moment to somebody, yeah, sure, yeah, you bought the stock at 250 and then you said 270. I do it live. And we record it, right, Spencer? Is this being recorded? So I told you what it was, where to get in. Well, again, you were a little bit late, but if you hopefully got in at 266 when I first mentioned it. 75, 91, 3, and then 310, because stocks like to go back to the same exact prices where they were before. What price was that? Yes, about 310 right there. Woo-woo. You got it. So now that you sold some more, what are you supposed to do? Now you're supposed to raise your stop. So if you sold some at 310, what do you do now? You see the bottom of this range? Raise your stop. Now from 275, let's say I started with 3,000 shares. Now I only got 600 left. Now I got a hard stop. 600 at 286. And now I'm thinking we're going higher because why not? Market never goes down, right? So 310, 311. Now we're looking for what? 336, and you're still long the Qs, right? Don't sell the Qs, right? Same scenario, right? You got to be thinking rally rest of the day, gap and go tomorrow on a holiday shortened day because holiday shortened weeks in a bull market are always bullish. Oh, by the way, did I go over the how to remain bullish checklist today? Ready? Here's how you do it. You wake up, that's bullish. Look outside, sun came out. Even if it's cloudy, the sun's out. Bullish. Now do this. This is the special check. I just developed this one. You ready? Hold it. Now, there was some substance that filled your lungs, right? If it did, bullish. Now for the other check. Ready? Look outside again. Do you see a nuclear cloud of fallout coming your direction? If not, bullish. And there you go. And that's how you stay bullish. So it's very hard not to be bullish this market if you haven't caught on yet. So listen, I appreciate it. And every time we've done this show, I've happened to have a winning trade. You know why? Because winning trades is what I do, baby. I'm doing this all my life. I should be able to, I could conjure money up out of thin air. Give me a moment. You know, I've been running chat rooms my whole life. We used to have the give me the pick guy. Give me the pick guy is always going to lose. The guy who comes into the chat room. Hey, I saw you on YouTube. You say you're so good. All right, give me a pick right now. That's not how it works, sir. Well, you seem like you're always talking about all the winning you're doing on the internet. Give me a pick. That's not how it works. It's basically if you give me about an hour, I probably could find one, but I can't conjure one up right this second. Wait for some setups. I don't got time to wait. All right, take care then. And then he criticizes me on YouTube. This is the worst free trial ever. I love when people criticize me when they're not even paying. This is the worst free trial ever. I want my... Oh, wait, I didn't pay for any of this. And by the way, you do get next week for free. If you guys are listening to me right now, and I hope you are. Next week, because I'm so special, small bus special, in fact, we're going to open up the room, and everybody's welcome to come in. Even the guy that's taken 12 trials, even the guy that criticizes me because I didn't give you a pick the 1 second that you came in on the free trial last year. You're all welcome. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, free access to the room basically all day. Hey, wait a second. Oh, and she's gone. And she's gone, just like that. And she's gone. What just happened to Mogo? I don't know, but I'm out. Because I just got done at 285, 286. Bye-bye. And now all we got left is the Qs. And I think you guys know where the Q stop is, right? You see that last pivot? That pivot is your multi-day and your 1 minute. I'm not going to let it fall too much further. But right here, you see that little shelf that we built? Look at the exact price. What price is that? Whatever that price is, that's your stop. I use exact price. I don't use moving averages. I just use VWAP to tell me who's in charge of the stock and multiple time frame to give me a heads up of targets or support or resistance from prior days. But when there's nothing VWAP-y about it, I just go to price. And I use exact price because if it's going to hit 549.62 and bounce, I'm not going to do anything unless it breaks 549.62. I use exact prices. I don't use moving averages. So that's my stop on what we got left. And it's been fantastic. So, going back to this trade also, let me show you the reason we got it. Right? So going back to the premise of the fader, into the 1 minute, into the faux show bro. So if you guys don't know what the faux show bro is, again, let me explain it. It's called the fake out, faux, show, shakeout, and then the bro. It's a breakout, faux show bro. Trade's been working forever, right? And I know how, and again, if you don't really appreciate what I'm saying here, have you ever sold a stock and then it's gone up without you after you've sold it? Right. We all have. That's the faux show bro. Oh, I just put my stop there and then it went and got me out and then it went up. Yes. Yes, it did. That's the faux show bro. And we've all been a victim to it. That's why it's so good of a trade. So let's say you were a victim to it this morning. And let's say you were buying Qs and then they broke the prior day low, right? Sorry, they broke the pre-market low. And then they faux showed back to what? Let me put on a 5-minute chart so you can see it better. All you did was double bottom in a bull market. Bullish. You could also look at, oh, sun's out, double bottom, bullish, buy. So now let's use VWAP to confirm our bias. Market never goes down as our bias. Give me a reason to believe. How about a double bottom test from prior day lows? Then hits the VWAP, fake out, shake out, breaks the VWAP, faux show bro. And that's why we're in from here. And we're not long the stock, well, some of us are, but the wonderful, most amazing product that's ever been built in the history of trading has been zero-date options. If you've read anything negative about zero-date options, the person that wrote the article doesn't know how to trade. Zero-date options is the greatest invention in the history of trading. Never before have you had the accessibility to buy $500 stocks that generally move in 5 to 10 point ranges for $1. It's the greatest invention, the greatest vehicle to be a day trader. And like I said, this is the greatest time to be a trader because they're inventing things for us still to this day to play with. And that's why I love what I do. So if you can't rock, and again, generally I love trading stock because I feel like I'm more nimble. So I usually do 300 to 400 shares of the Qs. But today, because my son, fuckhead that he is, left his wallet in dead man's hand. Crazy. Sorry, my son didn't leave his wallet in a dead man's hand. I have movie Tourette's. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm sorry. See, that's 2 movies right there. What movie was that? I'm sorry, Jimmy. What are you doing? I told you don't spend any money. I'm sorry. It's under my wife's name. It's under my wife's mother's name. It's all right. You got to follow along with the movie quotes. By the way, we have trivia also. We play on the website when there's nothing going on. All right, stop. I tend to fly off the path. So what the hell was I just saying? Oh, the Qs, right? So the reason these zero-date options are so awesome is that now, instead of having to lay out $546 for, that's one share, you got to lay out some major cash, 300 shares. It's, not everybody's got that money to throw around. But in this case, you buy a zero-date option. And what's lovely about it, and wonderful and superb and just absolutely incredible, think or swim, you can trade or you could chart the option itself on the chart that we use to do our trading. So what I do is I buy at the money or slightly out of the money. So if you're breaking VWAP at 546, either I'm buying the 546s or the 547s, and then I sprinkle in some 550s as my lotto play. 3 points out of the money, lotto play. The reason you want to go at the money is that it moves lockstep with the stock. So the lotto play, you need a bigger move to get paid on. So I sprinkled some of those in there also because I do believe we were going to have the bigger move. But in those days where you just have a smaller move, buying the at the money option ensures that you're going to make something on the trade if you don't have a big move. You following? So we buy the 546 or the 547s. This time we went with the 547s. So what's great about Thinkorswim is you could click the 547 call, poof, and look at that beautiful thing. Right there on the chart. So my charts are, what's the word? Perpetual or inevitable. What does Thanos say? The charts remain the same. I could take whatever vehicle and throw it on the chart and see how all I have in there is the 1 minute multi-day. And those red lines were where we were putting some trades on. So I was explaining to my son, we're buying here at 182. The bottoms of these candles are our stops. So again, same thing with the stock. You're buying a 1 minute multi-day VWAP break, right? And just like anything else, if you're buying contract, we bought the contracts at 185. By the time they got to 230, right, 235, we're up 50 cents on a dollar, something contract. I sold four contracts right there, just like every other trade. See the money, take the money. Sell some, raise your stop, now you can't lose. Sell some, raise your stop, now you can't lose. Sell some, raise your stop, now you can't lose. And that's how you stay consistently profitable as a trader. So then it starts to rip. And at $3, I ain't no fool. We're in from 185. At $3, sold. A couple more contracts, right? So now I'm down to 3 contracts. So now I'm thinking, same scenario. Sold some, raised my stop. Now I can't lose. So where do I raise my stop? To the price where I sold some before at 235. And that's why we're still in the trade, because just like the Mogo trade, did it break the price? No. So stay in the trade. So now, did it break 235 on the pullback? No. That's why we're still in the trade. So now that we've made new highs, and again at 380, now that we're up $2 on this trade, sell one contract right here. Hello? Sell right now. Here? Yes, here. 380. Crazy if you don't. And now when you sell those, you ain't getting 380 anymore. 366, 371, 378. Oh, they're dropping the bid on us now. Manipulative bastards. All right, go in the middle, 365 by 378. And by the way, here's a nice lesson to learn. If you got a contract that's trading 354 by 374, and you send a market order, not only will they be happy to print you 20 cents lower on a contract, and again, if you got 10 contracts, that's $200. It's a big chunk of change. Don't ever, I'm serious. I just got done, 371. Don't ever send market orders when you're trading options. What's that now? Don't ever send market orders when you're trading options. How's that now? Don't ever send market orders. Because imagine you're trading an illiquid option, like Sedge. I don't know if anybody's ever trying to trade Sedge options. By the way, you better be in the Sedge, S-E-D-G. I gave it to you this morning. By the way, Mogo still hanging in there. See? It came from my shares. I'm not even in the name anymore. Boo. Could have bought it back. Don't ever send market orders when you're trading options. Imagine for a second you have an illiquid option. You send a market order. The market maker moves away. Sedge options have like sometimes 70-cent bid, 220 on the offer. You send a market order, you're gonna get printed at 70, and they might even move the bid and print you at 50 and say, thanks for sending a market order and giving us permission to rob you. Always send limit. Slightly off the offer. So you become the offer. So if somebody then sends market buy, you're the offer. And you get done and you capture the spread. So just like this, right? I sent my order at 371. They dropped the bid to 340 and the offer was at 380. I got printed at 371. Granted, the thing's going higher now. But the way to stay profitable, sell something, raise your stop. Now you can't lose, right? So now we got 2 contracts left. What do we got? And by the way, when you put a stop on, do I need to go? I'll go over this with you right now. So here, it's called the stop limit, right? So my stop now is going to be 295. So we put stop limit. So the stop price triggers the order, and then you limit and you say 285 limit, disallowing them to rob you. You give them the 10 cents wiggle room, that's it. So 295 triggers, but with the QQQ option, generally you're going to get printed because it's pretty liquid. 295 stop, 285 limit. Because if you just send the stop, remember, the stop price awakens your order, but it's a market order. And they still have that ability to rob you. Never, ever send market orders when you're trading options. Ever. Ever. And I mean ever. Even when you're getting hammered. Send limit at the bid or slightly under the bid. Practice never sending market orders, because I've been robbed so badly where I've called down and I've called E-Trade. I'm like, how the hell are you? Well, sir, that's where the market was when you sent the order. No, it was bid 120. I got printed at 60. Sir, that's where the market was when you sent the order. No. And I'm sitting there yelling at the guy, and he's just telling me no. And then he just eventually hangs up after I start cursing at him. So the way to avoid that, just don't send market orders. All right. So this has been a fun day, right? A lot of faux show bro. And let me show you a couple more. And here's your sedge, right? So let's say you didn't like my idea this morning when I said I'm buying sedge coming out of the gate today. Woo! That was us. Woo! Right? But then what do you see there? Right? Blue line, red line where we bought it, sold it up here. That became our stop. We wound up getting stopped out, right? But then look what happened. So if you're in the ebb and flow of the stock and you loving this name and it comes under the VWAP, that's good. So let's say you sold out of it, sold on the first pop, made the money, rolls over, you got stopped out, broke VWAP, broke one of the levels that we sold it, we were done. And then it goes a little lower and then it comes back. What's that called? Faux show VWAP break. I heard this trade works a lot. Faux show VWAP break. Buy it again. So that's what's lovely about this market. It's so damn fluid, so damn active, that even if you miss the opening rip, like, I hope you guys were in some of these names with us, BM and RN. Tom Lee, right? Same scenario. Maybe you were too scared to join in on the first move. That was early this morning. Then it gets hammered at the open. Where does that hammering go to? It just tests. It just came back to say hello to his old friend. Say hello to my little friend down there. Right? So that's your big ass faux show. And then it breaks VWAP. Bro, buy it. So if you miss the first move, right? Look what it does again. Breaks the VWAP, faux show, back above the VWAP, buy it. And the reason that this trade is phenomenal, even when it doesn't work, right? And it works a lot. The reason that this trade is phenomenal is that, let's say you got your faux, you got your show, you bought the VWAP break. You're buying it at 49.75. Your risk is right there. Because if you're faux showing, you just don't let the stock break back below the faux and the show. So those are your outs. So now you're clearly identifying your risk. I'm a buyer here, one stop here, one stop here. And if you're really going to let it breathe, you just use the prior candlesticks from the prior faux show, bro. And with every trade, what we do is we're trying to identify our risk, have it in our favor, know why we're buying, know where we think it's going, and really, most importantly, prepare to be wrong. I'm always preparing to be wrong. Because it's okay to be wrong. You just don't stay wrong, right? It's a very simple saying to remember. It's okay to be wrong. Just don't stay wrong. We're all going to get trades wrong. Hey, this one's not working. Sold. Like my DAIC. I got paid on this trade twice. And then I went back to it, right? It broke VWAP. Starts to come in, right? Little faux show. I'm thinking, here comes the bro. So I bought it right here. And it didn't break 10. I immediately said, uh-oh, that's not good, right? And then it starts to sell off. And I take my $193 hit on the trade. Who cares? No one's going 12 for 12 every day. You could go 2 for 4 every day for the rest of your life, and you'll come out ahead. Seriously, you can go. The whole idea of track records and win rate, it's a little what's the word? Exaggerated. Nobody has to go 90% of the time. It's lovely that this trade works quite often, but with proper risk management and money management, you could actually have 20% winners and still come out ahead, right? And most of us know the inverse of that. You do 8 good trades, and that one trade comes along and crushes you and wipes out all 8 trades. We've all had that experience. When you trade VWAP and you have some proper discipline in your life, you can go 1 for 11 and still come out ahead. How's that possible? Well, the other day, I went 1 for 16. How about that? That was a great day. I should have launched the service on that day. 1 for 16. Where do I sign up? But you know what? The 15 trades that I lost on were all, let's call it 1/8 of a point quarters. So I wasn't having a good day. I'm down about 1,800, almost $2,000 on the day. I stink. I'm 0 for 15. How's that even possible, right? I think I had a winning trade in there somewhere. But let's say I'm 0 for 15. And then that 16th trade comes along, and it's a banger, and I'm milking it. And I'm selling some, and I'm raising my stop. I'm selling some, and next thing you know, I make $2,100 on that trade. So my P&L says I'm up $190 for the day. My win-loss ratio was what? I was 1 for 16 on the day and still turned out ahead. That is a great day. And that's the kind of day where you need to have, and you'll say to yourself after that day is like, wow, I worked today for a living and I did the right thing. And I managed my risk, and I did what was right, and I came out ahead. And you just don't want to be you don't want to be on the other side of that coin, which most of us are at one point, where one bad trade ruins all that good stuff that you just did, whether you be stubborn, your ego, or you're just a little delusional about the stock that you're in. It's always an emotional thing that prevents you from taking that loss. And that's why when you join our room and you join us and you see us trade every day, there is none of that. It's not about what we think. We have our ideas. I know what names are going to be hot every day, like Mogo today, DAIC. We did all right. You know, I caught 2 longs and lost on the third. It's okay. Can't win on every single one. Mogo got paid 4 different times in all different time frames and all different prices, right? This S-bet, we hit the S-bet earlier, and this one's still going without us, by the way, SBET. This one should be on your radar. What do you notice about this chart? Oh, a faux show, bro. 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. Then you had a faux show, bro, that held VWAP, and then another faux show, bro, and another faux show, bro, and another one. All the way to $11. Sadly, this one I was very content by, I sold it at 10, and, I didn't have a lot, but I caught this move right here, 975 to $10, and my bad. What are you going to do? I caught $75 out of it. I had 300 shares. I made a quick quarter. I don't know. Something about the stock spooks me. This is a weird one again. It went to $10. I was just like, all right, cool. And look, I left, $300 on the table right now. Things hitting 11. That's a good complaint. You don't want to be the guy that's just sitting there letting the stock disintegrate on you because we're a little bit stubborn. And that's what the beauty of VWAP does. When you trade VWAP in price. Oh, I got another one for you, boys. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. Oh my God. I can't even type the symbol in fast enough. Here it is. There it is. Post show, bro. VWAP break. Oh, we missed it. You know what? I ain't chasing this one. I was stalking this one earlier. Again, why? You see why. Monster move at the beginning, that's 4:30 in the morning. Had some crazy numbers, some crazy news. By the way, Mogo, you son of a bitch, right back to 310. Look at that. So this is another one on my list. And again, I am hip to all these crazy names. My scanner, I'm not going to tell you all my secrets here on the show, but my scanner is better than your scanner because I am. If you didn't get the memo, I'm Scan Man. You got to take me serious now. I got my own cartoon. I am Scan Man. JC was joking around a little bit that I invented day trading. I did. A lot of the stuff that we use today, we thought of it. Like, hey, wouldn't it be great to have a scanner that just looks for excessive volume? Boom, invented it. A lot of the things that we use today that are just common, we invented these things. No joke. I'm not joking around with you. I didn't program them and make them happen, but we had any idea that people are using now that made it. We invented it, literally invented it. We were experimenting with everything back in the day: stochastics, Bollinger Bands, everything. That's why this VWAP trading is a special thing, because I've never seen something that's easy to understand, easy to teach, and replicable, repeatable this much. So again, why am I looking at this stock? Look what it just did. It just broke the 930 high and prior day VWAP simultaneously. And this was a pump and a dump. And that's what I look for. I look for the dumps to be pumped again. And when they get over usually the VWAP, kind of like the Mogo trade. Mogo was a little bit different because I bought it off just the big fat hump, the number that I bought it from earlier, the 250. 250 is a big number. And by the way, is anybody still in this trade? I mean, I got out at 285. I raised my stop. They went and got me. And that was the worst print of this whole hour. My last lot. That's typically what happens. They look for the stops. Once you put that stop out there at 285, you're announcing to the world, I would like to sell the stock at 285. Would anybody want some here at 285? Oh, yeah, sure. Let's go get it at 285. All right, thanks very much. All right, now we're going to leave without you. That's what the market's all about. But at least you're getting stopped out of your last lot at a higher price that you bought it. So like I said, raise your stop, sell some, raise your stop, and now you can't lose. All right. What else? You know what I'd like to do? I know we only got 7 minutes left. I'm going to launch the channel, say hi to everybody, and see who's out there. I know I'm broadcasting on 2 different channels. Does anybody have anything? Just to show you, I'm not cherry picking these names. VWAP transcends all time and space and every stock everywhere. So if anybody has any, stocks you want me to look at, let's look. Let me just make sure we're doing this. Hold on. Hey. And we're here. Anybody have anything specifically you want me to look at? By the way, you guys make some money on this Mogo? Because if you didn't get the first one, the second one was not bad. Anybody? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Does anybody know they're alive? Anybody here? Is it just me? Okay. Just me? Just me? This thing working? Here I am. Hi. Let me go check the other one. Oh my God, son of a bitch. I can't believe this thing's actually going to go to 335 without me. I'm the one who started this move. Damn it. Oh my, everything I sell. By the way, that's another test of the bull market. Does it seem like you sell stocks and they keep going up after you sell out of them? Well, you're in a bull market. Like it or not, you're in a bull market. What's my VWAP source? Me. The source of the VWAP? You mean how many data feeds do I have? I use thinkorswim's data. I found that to be the best. I've experimented with investors, business, interactive brokers, garbage. I even tried to build my own, garbage. It's terrible. It's a failed experiment. I just my default is thinkorswim, as it will always remain thinkorswim. So may they never take our thinkorswim away from us. I thought for a second Schwab was going to ruin it. RKT. Oh. Rocket Mortgage, right? Yeah. You see right there where it bounced off the VWAP earlier? You know, typically when you break the VWAP, you go test those prior holds. So, you know, listen, if you're buying it right here, again, with any other trade, it's limited risk. Yeah. It's not bad. You're buying 1485. I mean, you're talking about nickel risk. That's 5 cents away. And right here is only, you know, you're risking 5 to 15 cents if you're buying right here. Let's take a look. I haven't looked at this stock wow. Look who's trying to break out. It's about time. This stock has been garbage for years, right? That doesn't look bad. I mean, it's hard to find a bearish chart now. You know, it really is. But it doesn't look bad, you know, especially going into the next couple of weeks, because you're probably going to want to go searching for his old pal up there at 16. Oscar. Oh, now you're talking my language. You know why? Because they reported earnings, right? And oh no, is this just a downgrade? I thought it was an earnings report. Didn't they report earnings? Oh my God, if it's just a downgrade, buy it. It doesn't even matter. Downgrades in a bull market? Oh, thanks. Buy it. Yeah. I thought it was an earnings report the way it was gapped. But here, for instance, this morning, right? Down on news, faux show, VWAP bro. And that was a 1750 entry, and you got paid to $18. Phenomenal. And now basically, you know what? If I was in this trade, 1750, I would have sold 75. I would have sold 18. I would have sold 75. I still, you know what? I'd be out of it. Knowing me, I'd be out at 1750 break even on the last lot. So now if this consolidation, it doesn't look good right now. If this consolidation leads to the breakdown, obviously it's going down, but if this consolidation leads to a breakout, you're probably going to go searching for that $18 again. So that's an interesting one to watch for the rest of the day. Yeah. Downgrades? Thanks. Anyway, we got a minute left. What do you got? Rocket Google? Yeah. I mean, anything QQQ related, I'm super bullish. You know, Google, faux show, bro. Prior day VWAP held it. You know, you're not going to want to sell this stock unless it breaks 178.50 today. It's just hard not to be bullish. Oh my God, this SBET is making me feel silly now. The only industry where you make money and feel like you've done something wrong. I mean, I nailed this thing. I got my Andy Dufresne's. I got my 1 minute multi-day VWAP break, and I don't know what. This is why you just don't sell everything at one price. I don't know. I was just happy. I got 975. I got what I wanted. I bought 975. I got the 10. I was like, I'm going to take the money. Oh, well. It's a good problem. You know, if your problem is not making enough money, I mean, it is a problem. You know why, right? Because there are days where you go 0 for 6. And that's why when you're in a winning trade, you want to try to milk it as much as you possibly can to offset the inevitable. You're going to have shitty days. You're going to have days where just nothing goes right. You're going to get those days where it's just choppy and awful. Or in my case, I always load up on the one that doesn't work. I have very bad luck. BBAI, and then we'll be out of here. BBAI, big fan of everything Straza. Big fan, huge fan, as a matter of fact. because this is a faux show bro 1 year VWAP break. When Straza, that's why Straza, phenomenal. The guy sees the market exactly like I do. In fact, he's usually on the same stocks as I am because we're looking for the same thing. Beautiful. I saw exactly what he was looking at. I kind of, all those red lines were where I had trades on the stock. Last time I traded the stock was 5.25. I should have never looked, I should have kept looking back. Wonderful. Awesome. But I also would sell because you're at this inflection point from earlier, from back here, right? So now you're in the kind of head and shoulder rollover. You want to sell some here, but you do not want to sell all of what you got. This one looks like you're going to consolidate. When it does pull back, you'll consolidate, down to that 6 and change. If it holds that gap. So if it consolidates now in this new realm between 625 and 780, your next move is going to be powering up to $10. Namaste. It's been nice hanging out with you. Come to the room and don't be ashamed to join late. Just join. Be with us. Come join us. It's a lot of fun. This is what I do every day. I've been doing every day since 2007. And this is by far the greatest trading I've ever seen in my life. And what's really nice and special is that I only do a few trades for the day. I just try to make a little day's pay for myself. Most of the time I'm here to help everybody else, coach them, show them what I'm, looking at, and, give you some targets. And by the way, we're still long the queues, not selling. And by the way, at this point, I'm sorry to run over, but at this point of the day, past 1 o'clock, if we make it past 2 and we haven't got stopped out, we're holding overnight. And not only are we holding overnight, we're holding till Monday, because my projections have 562.50 on the Qs. I think I'm looking for 12 and a half more points on this trade. No, I'm loving the Qs, but I'm just holding. So I got the shares, but what I'm going to do by the end of the day, I'm probably going to sell the shares to limit my risk. And it doesn't look like I'm going to get these, but I wanted to buy the 550. Yeah, I'm never getting these today. I'm trying to buy the 550s for $2 for tomorrow. It's just not going to happen. I don't like buying options today for tomorrow, because if you're wrong, it's 100% loss. I usually wait for the dip to buy, but I'm so damn bullish right now. It's scary. I'm scaring myself. But I think I think Monday's close, July 7th close is going to be 562.50. So I'm looking for at least 12 and a half more points to the upside. And again, it's a gamble. We'll see. At least we're doing it with house money. And if we get stopped out, so be it. We'll just rinse and repeat. I'm going to be here all day tomorrow. Join the room. Next week, it's free. But tomorrow, the show that I'm going to do between 12 and 1, it's going to be an options exploration. So all we're going to talk about is option plays. And hopefully we can find ourselves a MOGO and an S-bet and some BMRNs for tomorrow. And we'll enjoy our time together. Thanks for stopping in, my friends. See, that would have been a good time to shut the feed. Let me try that again. Thanks for stopping.